In conversation with Kimberley Paterson. Kimberley Paterson is a first-time author of a children's illustrated book entitled Frankie the Ferret. Frankie is an award-winning book that explores the daily adventures of their rambunctious pet ferret. Kimberley was born in Uxbridge, Ontario, a small rural farming town north of Toronto, Canada, and still lives nearby. Kimberly is a mother of two children and the grandmother of five amazing grandchildren who were the inspiration for this book. She currently lives in the countryside in Claremont, Ontario, with her spouse, dog, along with their chocolate lab Molly and tortoiseshell cat named Kitty. And on today's episode of Auto Interview, it's my utmost pleasure, joy, and excitement to have on the show today, Kimberly Patterson. Welcome on the show, Kimberly.
Oh, thank you very much. This is a wonderful opportunity. Thank you to both of you.
It is nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Absolutely. A pleasure really having you on the show today. So, Kimberly, I need to say that I found the description page of Frankly the Ferret to be quite lovely and fun while I read through it on Amazon. And I would like to ask you, how does this book come about? What inspired you to write Frankie the Ferret? And I'd like you to show the book to the camera. I know you have a bit of it down there in the background. That's what it looks like. Beautiful cover you've
Can
got
you
it.
see it?
Mm-hmm.
So, I've always wanted to write a children's book. I find they're exciting. The kids love them, the grandkids love them because they're great pictures. They have the rhyming words. So when we had Frankie, I always said to the kids, I really think Frankie would make a good children's book.
Mm.
So I kept a logbook of everything he did because he was a bit of a mischievous little fellow and did crazy things. So I kept a log. It took 15 years to actually publish it,
Wow.
but I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process, and this way Frankie lives on with my family.
Wow. That sounds quite great, really.
He was an interesting little character, as Cindy can relate to.
Yes, yes. I think we did share that we had a couple growing up.
Yeah.
Yes, Linky and Sierra. I want to get a little bit deeper. What is it that drives you to write children's picture books? What's your driving factor for it?
I think it's just the enjoyment that children get out of those books.
Mm.
The fact that their parents spend that 15, 20 minutes at night and read them a story and they can engage in it. I think it's just great family time with your young children
Mm.
too. So I wanted to be a part of that. I actually grew up with Dr. Seuss, and I always found his books, the way they rhymed, the pictures, that they were interesting. So I just wanted to be a part of that.
And
Yeah.
this is something you shared with your grandchildren, right?
Yes, yes, they're quite proud of me, which is nice. I enjoy that.
Beautiful.
Thank you. That's quite fun to know, really. And you also have another book in the name of Misty, the Mystical Unicorn. For readers who haven't
Yes.
read that yet, and without giving much information away, could we have a sneak of what we'd expect in terms of themes? Picking up Misty, the Mystical Unicorn. You can raise it to the camera if you have a copy of it there with
Yep.
you. Beautiful
Can you
cover.
see it? There's weird lights in the office here. So Misty was, I had four grandkids at the time, and I had one granddaughter, and she was fascinated with unicorns. So I thought, well, that's an interesting, let's see what I can come up with. So Misty is about believing in yourself,
Yeah.
about following your dreams. And as soon as I finished this book, my granddaughter informed me that she didn't care for unicorns anymore. She was a dinosaur person. So, but she still enjoyed the book.
Wow. That,
Lift kids. I want them to believe in themselves. I want them to follow their dreams. So
interesting.
that's what Misty is.
Wow.
If I could reroute you back, since we were talking about Frankie, the ferret, and I know we've talked about how important Frankie was to you because he was a pet of yours, but is there anything that stands out to you that was so important about Frankie? What made him so special? Because I gathered from our conversation, you also had some other ferrets and stuff, but you decided to really specially dedicate a book to Frankie.
Frankie was the first. So he was our first experience. And out of all our ferrets, he was the one who was the most animated. So he was the one who introduced us to ferrets. And he used to, ferrets love anything made out of rubber. So if they can get their hands on it, they take it and hide it. So we were forever finding hairbrushes, toothbrushes hidden all over the house because he would take, and socks. They love socks. So I just liked this name too. It was my son's ferret, and he called him Frankie. And I just thought Frankie the Ferret was a good name for a children's book.
He just connected with you.
He is. He was, as even though he was my son's, he actually was really my ferret because I was home. So he followed me everywhere.
Wow. That's quite fun to know, really. Quite fun. I'm not sure if they're anywhere around. Are they around the house currently?
Yes, we let him out, so he would run around. If you called him, he would come to you and look up at you. He was just like having a small cat.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
But they're mischievous.
Yes, they can get into trouble quite a bit. Yes, you have to keep your eyes on them.
Yes, most definitely. I can only imagine what you wrote about.
Well, all his little adventures, the things he liked to do. And I'm sure you remember the ferret dance. Do you remember seeing the ferret dance? It's quite humorous. Yeah, they would just, when they were excited, they just did this little dance that was just so cute.
It was kind of weird watching them shake and move and stuff like that.
Unusual.
Yes.
Yes. There's a picture of him dancing.
Let's see
if I can find it.
And again, I'd like you to do a short reading from the book. It could be a paragraph, line or page if you like to.
That's how it was depicted as him dancing. They actually literally did stand on their hind feet and do that. And go in circles and stuff. So he was funny. But he got along with all the animals. We had dogs, cats, and they all just played together.
Wow. Wow. Sounds like a fun play, really, they would have. Especially with the cat. Yeah. I think it's gonna blend so well with the cats. Since
yes.
Similar sizes, you know.
You'd think you'd see the cat chasing Frankie, but it was actually Frankie chasing the cat. So
I think it's a cat that'll be shaking.
No. Frankie was the boss.
Oh.
Yes.
He's the alpha, even though he was a ferret, not a dog or a cat. Okay.
Yeah. He was the boss, and they just kind of stayed out of his way.
Wow.
But they did play together well. They were very good.
Interesting. So could we have a short reading from the book?
Sure. I haven't read this for ages. I don't even remember most of it. Let's see, what's a good page?
At least a nice A nice way to read a book since you've not read it for ages. Lovely, lovely back introduction.
All right. Well, one of Frankie's favorite things was I just love to steal your socks and hide them all away. Maybe you should get some locks to keep your footwear safe. Thing. It's like the kids. Where's socks? I just put them here, and he'd grab them and hide them. If we moved the couch to vacuum, all his treasures were out.
Bringing back memories.
It does. I miss them. It's been quite a while.
Yeah. I like how that what you read there subtly rhymes. And it brings back memories of the Dr. Seuss. Are all the pages that you have
rhyming? Yes. Yeah. And that was the biggest challenge, was to make this rhyme so it flowed. That was my biggest challenge. It was difficult. Part of the reason it took so long to publish is because I kept trying to make it flow properly. Okay. So rhyming is not as easy as you'd think. It's
I respect
difficult.
Anybody that writes poetry.
So it was difficult. Biggest challenge with this book.
Apart from I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I think I have a time delay. I apologize.
That's okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Apart from Frankie the Ferret, do you have any other works that you've authored, or are you currently thinking about authoring another book or working on something now?
Misty was the second book. I've been jotting some stuff down, but I don't have a new idea formed as yet. I had thought about writing something during COVID that would help kids get through COVID, but with COVID, things were difficult, so I just kind of put that aside. But now that I have a new baby granddaughter, I'm thinking I'm going to see her personality and maybe try and come up with an idea, because her brother is 10 years old. So something about, after all these years, you have a new baby, something. I want to see how that goes, but not any real book in progress at this time.
That's quite fun to know, really. Quite fun to know you have another one ongoing. Great job you've got going. Quite commendable as well, really.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And now, could you tell us what publishing is like for a published author like yourself? Are there any challenges you've encountered in the process of writing this book, and also ever since it got published?
The company that I used for self-publishing was amazing. They walked you through every step. They help you with getting your book listed on Amazon, promotions, trailers. So it was actually an easier process than I thought it would be. So I used a company here in Canada. They're based in Vancouver, British Columbia. It's called Freezen Press, and they walk you through everything.
Wow.
So they were incredible. So it wasn't as challenging. It was the rhyming that was the biggest challenge of this whole process for me.
Quite fun.
So, and after you have to do a lot to promote your book.
Yeah.
And that I work full time, so I don't spend as much time promoting Frankie as I should. I did in the beginning, but it's nice to have this opportunity to bring them back to the forefront for me.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Is there anything that you'd love to share with the viewers about your book that we didn't mention in this interview? But I was also wondering, a two-parter to this is, you mentioned with Misty the Mystical Unicorn, you had message to share. Was there a message then? The two-part question is, was there a message in this story to share too?
With Frankie?
Yes.
I just wanted to bring awareness on how great a pet a ferret is. I didn't want to mean it was easy. It's a lot of work having a ferret. They do require a lot of attention, but I wanted to bring awareness to them that they do make great pets. If you're looking for something different from a dog or a cat, because I think ferrets are underrated as far as pets go. And I mean, I have to admit, I wasn't sure what it was going to be like to have a ferret. But as soon as I saw him, I said, okay, we'll take him home, but I'm not sure your father's going to appreciate this. He loved him too, and he just fit right in. So it's more of an awareness of how great a ferret can be as a pet if you're thinking about it.
Interesting. Okay. I love your take on that, actually. That's quite fun, yeah. And as a published author, especially someone writing in the genre of children's literature, what sort of advice do you have for other writers who are still struggling with writing and publishing a book? What would you advise people in this category?
Don't give up. I mean, it took me a long time to get this book published. And I think a lot of it is your self-doubt that you can't do it or it won't be well received. And it's just, if this is what you want to do, stick with it. There is a lot of help available out there to help you get through it. And if this is your dream, just do it.
You could either feed your doubt or feed your dream, right?
Right. So you have to get that mindset changed. I did a lot of procrastinating, and it's just one day I decided I'm going to do this. I talked to my grandkids and they said, Grandma, you can do this. So I did. And I have to say the publishing company helped a lot with that. It really helped.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where can readers get your book?
It is on Amazon, and it's on all the Amazons. It's at Barnes and Noble. It's at Indigo Chapters.
Wow.
Okay.
That's great. And I left a link in the description part of this interview where viewers can get a copy of Kimberley Paterson's books directly on Amazon, on Barnes & Nobles, on Indigo, on our website, and also on other platforms. I also left links to our social media pages for possible followings. So thank you so much, Kimberly, for accepting the invitation to be featured on P English Literature. I must say this is more than awesome, quite exciting, fun, and great having this conversation around your beautiful book. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure to meet both of you. And I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
Well.
Nice meeting you. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
December.
Yes. Thank you so much.
That was quite fun, really.
Have to admit.
I couldn't feel it.
And I forgot to mention that Frankie was featured on Storytime with Bergie and Friends.
Oh.
So the Duchess of York, she read Frankie, and that was just, the date was June 9th, 2023, and it was amazing to see Bergie read my book. It was incredible.
Wow.
She picked it. I sent it to her. She picked it, sent me a date. It was amazing.
Oh,
that's impressive. Congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
Just hearing that.
I was surprised when they came back and said, here's your date. And it's like, that's amazing. So
that's quite wonderful.
I'm impressed. Frankie's been well received. So I'm very proud of him.
Mm,
He's living on in the written words, right?
He is. He is. Perfect.
that's great.
Well,
Well, we
thank
can have
you.
another capturing.
All right. So let me see if I can get my
Franklin the
camera right.
Ferret
Frankie and
and
Misty.
Misty the
Oh,
Mystical.
sorry. Unicorn. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Those are beautiful illustrations.
Thank you.
For the unicorn book. For
Yeah.
sure.
She did a fantastic job. Both books, they were able to capture exactly what I was looking for. So it's
Yeah.
been a great process, and I'm glad I finally did it.
Check something off your bucket list, right?
I did. Yes. I was quite impressed.
Now with this other grandchild, you're going to have another one to check off.
I have to figure out something for her. Yes. Maybe she'll like unicorns. I don't know. But
I wish we were able to stress who Fergie is for those people that don't know who.
she's the Duchess of York. Is that correct?
Yeah, I know that, but it would
Yeah.
be nice to hear the Duchess of York. You know what
I
I mean?
didn't say that because I had to think for a moment. Is that exactly who she is? I was thinking
Of God.
princess, but she's not. She's the Duchess of York.
Yeah, maybe.
That up. Oh wow. Is this Sarah Ferguson?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
wow. That's an impressive. That's someone from the British royal family.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Peter, you didn't pick up on that?
I know it's quite a big name. I know Duchess of York, it's a big
Yeah,
name. Just like you have Duchess of London, Duchess of
yeah.
this, Duchess of that, yeah. I know it's a big, but I just Googled her. I just Googled her now, and I found Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York. That's
Do you happen
amazing.
yeah. Do you have any pictures with her holding the book?
She's got the YouTube video. So Storytime with Fergie is YouTube, and it's June 9th, 2023. So I don't have pictures. I just have access to the video of her reading the book.
Oh,
Beautiful.
wow, that's
We'll
amazing.
leave it to Peter to do all his magic and snipping and fitting things in.
Wow.
All right. Perfect. Well, from the ones I've seen, you two are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.